You see these? Puff adder, Russell's viper. These sheds were made possible thanks to the person we're going to learn about today, my friend Chase. Now his page is going to be linked in the description. Main thing, be sure to go check him out, show him some love, and want to thank him first and foremost for taking part in this video. Another thing too, I'm honored for him to be part of this video. Chase is one of the few I really enjoy seeing what he posts, seeing all his animals. Just a great person in general. Grateful for him. Speaking of sheds, here's Magma, the variable bush viper. She just shed her skin. How awesome is that? She wanted to show Chase her new clothes. And another thing, don't attempt and subscribe if you're new. The first question I want to ask Chase is one that always fascinates me, which is, where did your love of reptiles or snakes begin?
Mark, thank you so much for having me on, man. I appreciate it. Look forward to answering some questions for you and hanging out with you here for a bit. Got this girl out. This is a fairly good size flat-nosed viper. Super cool little species. I think my love for snakes started when I was a little kid, man. I grew up catching stuff in the gulch and down by the creek and was just hooked from a super young age. So as soon as I was old enough to go out of the house and start flipping rocks over and flipping logs looking for snakes, man, that's what I was doing.
You see how massive that is? No, I'm not talking about his massive arms. I'm talking about that massive flat-nosed pit viper. It's incredible. Huge. Huge. Can't even say that word. Check this out. Massive albino monocle cobra. But Chase, I can relate to that. Always loved snakes. When I was a kid, just going out finding things just like you. But the next question, how long have you been working with and keeping venomous snakes? And what was your first venomous snake?
Yeah, so I've been keeping for going on about 10 years now. Definitely got more serious with it the last couple years for sure, but I've always had a rattlesnake or two laying around. So yeah, I'd say about 10 years with keeping venomous. I think my first venomous was a prairie rattlesnake, which it's debatable. They have pretty snippy attitudes, maybe not the best one to learn on, but they were ones that I could go out and catch. So that's kind of how I got my experience with keeping venomous in the first place, was catching them. So like this guy right here is a melanistic Western Diamondback. He's a male, had him about 5, maybe going on 6 years. So he is an adult. I actually have his sister as well. I wouldn't recommend starting with a big Atrox like this for your first by any means. This one is pretty chilled out, but I've got an albino that is not. Mark, I'm sure you've seen old Diamondback Dave on my Instagram, and he doesn't act like this one. So
that melanistic, oh, so beautiful. Now I have 3 Western Diamondbacks. All are pretty psychotic. And one of them is melanistic. And we talk about behaviors on this page a lot. And we always talk about personalities, different personalities. Just because the 3 Western Diamondbacks I have are very defensive, doesn't mean that their brother or sister won't be the complete opposite. The Western Diamondbacks at my job are very laid back compared to the 3 that I have. She's beautiful, but I think that male is the most beautiful. Now here I have a Chinese cobra. Now next question I have for you, Chase, is what is your goal with these animals in general and the social media aspect of it?
My goal with social media and just keeping these animals in general would be, I would like for people to kind of learn a little bit more about them. There's so many people out there that are terrified of snakes. And there's some where it's like, oh, rightfully so. But not all of them are evil. Not all of them are out to get you. This is a diamond line leucistic monocle cobra, about 1.5 years, maybe pushing 2 years old. Very, very pretty animal. But yeah, I mean, I wish people would just kind of educate themselves a bit more and not just go around killing snakes for no reason other than they're scared of them. And then the other goal of mine would be to have some of the younger crowd that, I get that they're watching some of these guys that are very, very good handlers and they've been doing this for a long time. And I see people get their first cobra, and your next move shouldn't be dangling that snake over top of your head and trying to get a reaction out of it. These animals are highly toxic. They can kill you. Monocle cobras are obviously very, very common in the hobby, very readily available, and also very toxic. And I think a lot of people kind of forget about that part. This is a very dangerous animal and a dangerous cobra. This one's pretty well behaved, but I work with him a lot, and I try to understand his movements and where he's going, and I'm also not dangling him over my head, stressing him out, trying to get a reaction out of him. So I kind of just let him be, and in return, I hope he doesn't kill me. So,
Josh, did you see that leucistic? You're gonna love that. Got a zebra spitting cobra here. And yeah, I agree with you completely about people's fear, irrational fear, and the slaughter of these animals is ridiculous. So one of the greatest things, in my opinion, not only with the social media aspect for me, but at my actual job, is being able to educate the public and teach them about these animals and hopefully help them learn enough to respect them enough not to harm them, and also being a positive force for the younger generation. Those type of things are gifts that are unmatched. And the next question I have for you, Chase, is do you have any breeding plans or any snakes you plan to pair together? Little Oreo's in shed right now. Growing. Beautiful little snake.
yeah, as far as breeding, I'm definitely not a breeder. It's not how I make a living. This is all strictly a hobby for me. If I make a couple bucks along the way, cool, but I promise you I've spent a lot of money in this hobby as well, so it'll take a lot of breeding to get fully paid back here. But I do have some animals that I definitely am interested in breeding, these being one of them. This is the female. It's het albino white-lip pit viper, got from Alexander, England. Mark, I know you're familiar with him. Great guy, awesome stuff. I mean, if you're looking for squams of any color, he's most likely got them. So yeah, definitely will breed these, make some yellow ones, and then I have a pair of blue and Solaris. I'll definitely pair those two up. I do have some stuff coming in here next week, actually, which I'm not going to share quite yet, but I will 100% be trying to produce those in the future. So yeah, I got a couple stuff that I'm interested in breeding. As far as cobras and the North American stuff, and just not interested at all. But some of the arboreal stuff and kind of selective pit vipers, I'm definitely interested in producing.
Such a beautiful white-lipped pit viper. Look at that incredible green. White-lipped pit viper was the first arboreal viper I ever kept. Such a beautiful species, incredible. Still have it, but gave it to a friend. Just incredible snakes. And yeah, Alexander, England, Rory's dad on Instagram, the Squam King. Squam is a variable bush viper. So many different patterns, so many incredible colorations. He's the master of that. Now, I've only bred 3 times just to see if I could. So just like you, Chase, didn't produce them to sell, but did it just to see if I could, which were saw scale vipers, variable bush vipers. So Magma, the first one I showed, was one of the babies I produced. She's an adult now, but those are the parents up there. And monocle cobras. Now I do have paired together these rink owls. Awesome snakes. And these give live birth. They hood up and spit like true spitting cobras, but they're not true cobras. These are in their own genus, Hemachatus. Like I said, give live birth. Real true cobras and Naja, they lay eggs. Eggs, I'm so impatient. It was so hard to wait and wait and wait and wait until they hatch. But it was still an awesome experience to produce them. But yeah, the rink owls is one that I plan to produce, and desert horn vipers. But Chase. My next question. Do you have any dream species that you would love to work with?
Yeah, so as far as dream species go, it's going to get loud. As far as dream species go, yeah, I definitely have a couple of them for sure. Mangshen vipers would probably be at the top of that list. Very, very cool snakes. Also have a price tag behind them, that's why I don't have one. This here is a South American rattlesnake. Very dangerous rattlesnake. These are highly, highly toxic animals. And they do mean business. They're typically not very nice. Not like getting bit by one of your North American rattlesnakes at all. Yeah, as far as dream species though, I would definitely say Mangshans would be on the top of that list. And the other stuff that was on the top of that list, I'm actually changing some things up, and I'm going to make that happen here very soon. So, South American rattlesnake.
It's a great list. Mangshen vipers, they're incredible. Camo-like pattern, they almost look fake. If you haven't seen what one looks like, definitely look them up. And that's awesome. I look forward to see what you have planned. Incredible stuff. And geez, that South American rattlesnake. These are my favorite types of rattlesnakes. Any of the South American species, incredible. This right here, banded snouted cobra. And Josh will love to hear Mangshen on that list. He loves them as well. Dream species for me would have been the desert horned vipers. So definitely hoping to actually produce them. They're incredible snakes. And this definitely was one of the dream species. Banded snouted cobra. But Chase, this next question is, what advice do you have for the younger generation that are looking or hoping to work with these animals in the future when they get older?
Yeah, so some advice that I would like to give to some of the younger crowd is, it's not a race to see how fast you can get the most dangerous stuff you can get your hands on. That is not the goal at all. And I think that gets a little murky sometimes. This here is a Indo-Chinese spitting cobra. She is behaving very good right now, so.
Got a little Urshi, little northern copperhead. Look at how beautiful. Now that's great advice, Chase. For the younger generation, I'd say, always remain teachable. Learn as much as possible. Be polite and kind to each other, and just learn as much, but also not get into it and just get a bunch of stuff. So similar to like Chase is saying, getting the most dangerous stuff would be like not to get overwhelmed by just getting a bunch of things and way more than you can handle, and that it becomes more of a chore instead of a passion. So remember where that passion came from, and not to lose that by getting overwhelmed. Chase, the last question I have for you is, where can anyone who watches this find your content?
Where can people find me? So I'm as Mark knows, I'm not a big social media guy necessarily, pretty new to it. Also, excuse the bare cages. I did just move rooms. So all these cages, right now everything is kind of bare bones. I need to get some substrate, and I'm on my days off from work right now. So tomorrow, this will get all finished. And then my other room, which is more the arboreal, more humid style of room, is going to be over here. But yeah, I'm just on Instagram. You can find me at Chase_N_Venom. Mark, thanks a lot for having me, man. This was fun. Had a good time doing this and answering your questions. Thank you guys for watching.
So like I said at the beginning, his Instagram's going to be linked in the description. The main thing, please go check him out. Go show him some love and support. Great person. He's not into social media like he said, but I'm glad he did end up making an Instagram, because if it wasn't for that, we would have never met. I'm grateful for that. Great person, great friend, love him to death. And yeah, just truly, truly grateful that you took part in this video. So thank you, Chase, for that. And yeah, beautiful snakes. You have no idea. Go check out the other stuff. You only saw just a little bit of what he has. But thanks again, man. And to everyone else, subscribe if you're new. And big shout out to my channel members. And if you'd like early access to videos or just to support, consider becoming a channel member. check the description. Follow Chase. Follow my Instagram. Check out the little bit of merch like this variable bush viper shirt I'm wearing. Take care, everyone. Love y'all.